After over a decade playing Skyrim, hundreds of hours played and many characters later, I'm just like everyone else. In the never-ending waiting room for Elder Scrolls 6. After experiencing Oblivion yet again with the recent remaster, I found myself needing my next dose of Elder Scrolls content.
Just hook it to my veins!
But with so many older titles out there, I decided I needed something a little fresher. Enter ESO. I decided to finally give this game a go and see why the people that love this game truly stick with it like a heroin addiction, and why the people that hate it delete it and never look back. I'm going to give my honest opinion as a first timer playing this game, completely fresh. My goal is to see if this game still holds up after over 10 years, and if you can still have fun playing this game, even as a new player. So let's get into it. Now, I have never played Elder Scrolls Online for the simple reason that it looks horrible. Now, I don't mean graphically, I mean the whole system just looks like a clunky mess whenever I watch a review video on it. However, the trailers they first put out for ESO are some of the most epic scenes I've seen from game trailers, but it just didn't match the gameplay, and that coupled with the fact that I'm not really a massive MMO guy, kinda deterred me. And of course, with all good Elder Scrolls games, we start with the character creation, and I found this to be incredibly similar to Skyrim as expected, but has all the tools needed to build just what you want. The character creation is both a blessing and a trap. You've got sliders for jawlines, tattoos, even eyebrow tilts. It's dangerously easy to spend an hour crafting the perfect battle-hardened warrior, only to spawn into the world and realise you accidentally made him 4'9" with a permanent smirk. No hate if you actually look like that. But the options for races and different classes give you an amazing choice for the character you wish to create. Right, no one ever gives the Breton some love. Let's go Breton. I'm looking to look like that Breton archer from the trailer. We're going bull stealth archer. Dude is the edgiest edgelord to ever edge. The only issue I had was that if you ever wanted to change your character's appearance later on, you need an appearance token, and yes, you've guessed it, it'll cost you, along with just about everything else in this game. But we'll come onto that a bit later. Now, I love Elder Scrolls, and the stories in both Oblivion and Skyrim were engaging and extremely easy to follow. But as someone whose knowledge of the Elder Scrolls lore mostly stops at those points, my introduction to the story did not start so well.
I am despair and hope. The tapestry we weave.
What is he on about? What is going on? What happened to the good old days of the Emperor coming into my cell and letting me out the secret back door? I know, MMOs are not typically designed for their story narratives at the forefront, but as someone who has played limited MMOs in my time, I think the concept of me treating this as a single player game slightly muddied the waters for me. But you can tell how much the writers have put into this, and even to go as far as hiring high profile actors for the roles.
Slowly now, you've been through an ordeal.
Wait, is that Dumbledore? It is Dumbledore. Did you put your name in the gob? And they didn't stop there with the Harry Potter actors.
Hello, what's this? Out for a stroll then? Lovely day for it.
There's some serious Harry Potter fan over the ESO office. Wouldn't be surprised if Expelliarmus is a spell. Avada Kedavra! I sometimes got the feeling every quest feels like I walked into the season finale of a show I've never watched. People are dying dramatically, old gods are returning. I'm a vestige, whatever that is. I got to go to the Harbridge 27 times to speak with Dumbledore, and I've got a giant lady playing the guitar every time I go down there. About 2 to 3 hours into my playthrough, the game crashed, and for one reason or another, the game didn't save my character, and was no longer available. Initially, as you can imagine, I wasn't happy with this at all. But when going through the quests again, I changed the order in which I did things, and this actually gave me a slightly different version of the main quest, and altered the way I could approach quests, which I thought was a really nice touch. I can appreciate the detail in the story for sure, but as a Skyrim veteran used to chasing butterflies and shouting goats off mountains, I was wildly unprepared for this much plot. However, the more I progressed the main story, the more engaged I got, and by this point in my journey, I'm at a point where I am genuinely interested and eager to find out more. And that's a new one for me with MMOs. As a first time player to this game, it is vital that I mention how confusing and mind-boggling the UI and HUD system is. Not to mention the absolute absurd amount of currencies alone. Oh my god. What are all these? Why do we need 47 different currencies? From the get-go, you were met with several quests showing on your screen along with constant pop-up for tips and tutorials, and honestly, it was a lot for a new player. It's like it didn't even give me time to settle into the game before throwing everything at you. And of course, in true MMO style, the moment I finished the tutorial, I was instantly greeted with the sight of microtransaction stores. No way. I literally just got out of the tutorial and already wants me to buy shit. It's even a deal. It's a deal. It's like they're doing me a favour. Oh, and the Crown Store? Oh, it wants you to visit. And it's like ESO's version of Amazon Prime. One wrong click and suddenly I'm browsing 600 mounts, 8 limited time offers and 3 exclusive houses. It cost me more than my actual rent. I get that this is an MMO and they need to make money, but you can literally buy anything and everything on this damn game, and some of it, not so cheap. Right, fine, let's see what this is all about. God, what is all this junk? Honestly, who is buying this stuff? Your house would be pretty cool. Wait. 13,000 crowns? That seems a lot. How much is that? £75. £75 for a virtual house. Okay, I stand corrected. This guy just bankrupted himself, but at least it looks good in ESO. He even had a guy ride past me on a flaming horse with a massive flower on his back. Wild game. So yeah, the UI is deep but dense. The story is shiny but shameless. And half the game experience is just learning not to click if you want to actually play the game.
Bleed, you bastard. Die like the monster you are.
But moving on to the key part of the game, the combat. Now, combat in Elder Scrolls Online is a trip. Coming from Skyrim, where I could pause the game mid-fight, scroll through 18 healing potions, eat 5 cabbages and a raw rabbit leg, then go back to one-shotting a dragon, ESO felt like I'd been dropped into a Dark Souls with a HUD overload. Combat's real time, no pausing, no waiting, you dodge, block, interrupt, light attack, heavy attack, weave your skills in between, cast buffs, watch cooldowns, check your stamina, and pray your ping doesn't spike. I feel like going for a bow my first time around was ambitious. From my experience in the first hour, I was enjoying the combat. It was engaging, albeit slightly easy, but it was fun. But that fun slowly turned to boredom, as all I ended up doing was running around in circles, pressing shoot over and over again, waiting for the health bar to delete. But coming from a game created not long after Skyrim, this is what we've come to expect. Very basic combat mechanics. But did they dull the experience in Skyrim? Absolutely not. And it hasn't in ESO. With a leveling up and progression system, I constantly felt like my new abilities were changing my playstyle, along with the addition of the dodge, which was a welcome addition. With my recent return to Skyrim, I've noticed many mods are actually able to update the combat systems themselves, and the way AI enemies actually react to the attacks, which would be a great addition to ESO if they could add that. It would make it feel like I'm not firing daisies at the enemies or hitting them with wet baguettes. There were times I found myself stood dead center in front of an enemy, looking straight into their eyes while I put 50 arrows into their face without so much as a flinch from them. I feel like any sort of addition to the NPC reactions to the combat would make it a lot more engaging. And of course, I've stumbled into the debate of whether to play in first person or third person. If I ever caught myself playing in third person on Skyrim, I would seriously reconsider my life choices. But in ESO, it somewhat feels right. I gave both a good go, but the dodging feels a whole lot better in third person. Was I disappointed with the combat? Yes. Was I expecting to be disappointed? Yes. Did I enjoy the experience enough to keep going? Absolutely. One thing I did like was the variety of enemies. The issue was that all enemies felt the exact same to fight. There was no change in between. Killing enemies grants you XP, and XP grants you level ups. Every time you level up, you get a skill point, and also an attribute point. Simple enough. But then you open the skill menu and realize there are dozens of skill lines. Class skills, weapon skills, armor, guilds, PvP, crafting, it's a lot. You unlock new abilities by slotting skills from the specific line and actually using them. It's kind of like a loyalty program. The more you use them, the better it gets. But at the start, it can be hard to know what's worth investing in. As mentioned earlier, the use of the bow in this game is a simple pressing R2 simulator, and not much else to it. So it's hard to see if you're actually progressing as you move through different zones. I think going forward the best thing to do is just stick with swords, or maybe even magic, and just pick myself up an Expelliarmus spell. One thing ESO absolutely nailed is the world. Coming from Skyrim's frozen peaks and familiar holds, I wasn't sure how the broader Elder Scrolls universe would feel in an MMO form, but honestly, it's stunning. Every region feels handcrafted with dense environments, unique architecture and actual incentive to explore. You'll ride through jungles, deserts, volcanic islands, even apocalyptic hellscapes, and somehow it all connects into a believable world. And it's not just big for the sake of it. There are hidden caves, lore books, world events, side quests everywhere, hidden bosses. It doesn't feel like a theme park MMO, it feels like Tamriel evolved. The only downside? My map has more icons than a mobile game, and I've gotten distracted trying to reach every sky shard since level 12. But you can't deny how pretty the game looks, especially for a game created in 2014. There is still the classic Elder Scrolls feel with the music going on, and that's just what you want with these kind of games. I know I've been somewhat critical, but this is my honest opinion as a first time player, and I've actually thoroughly enjoyed my time in ESO. Going into Elder Scrolls Online, I generally didn't think I'd stick around. As someone who spent years in the snowy mountains of Skyrim, the idea of cramming Tamriel into an MMO sounded like absolute chaos, and it is. But it's surprisingly good chaos. Once I got past the initial confusion, the menus, the story overload, the 47 different currencies, I started to see the depth. The world is huge and genuinely beautiful. The writing shines in places and the freedom to explore, fight or just vibe feels familiar in the best way. ESO definitely won't replace Skyrim for me. It's a completely different beast. As an Elder Scrolls fan, I ended up having way more fun than I expected. It's not perfect, but if you give it time and maybe a guide or two, it does feel like coming home, just with way more buttons and a microtransaction store. If you guys have any tips for me going forward, please let me know. I think it will help me a lot in the game. I think it's a game I'll 100% continue to play and see what more I can discover. Thanks for watching, folks.